Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm Nancy Ganzikoffer, business coach and body language trainer, and I am here with my associate coach, Lesley Myrick. Good morning, Lesley.
Good morning, Nancy. How are things going on this Thursday?
Pretty good. Woke up, did my walk this morning, didn't make it to the gym, kind of bailing on my gym this morning. Just wanted to eat breakfast and not feel rushed. Do you do exercise in the morning?
Walk. Yes, I do. I work out 2 days a week at a gym. And then the other days, my goal is just 10 minutes of movement, whether it's stretching, a walk. This morning, it was helping my husband hitch and move our camper and jig things around. And I had a pole saw and I cut tree branches down. So I've gotten my workout for the day. All before 9 a.m. And it's hot in Georgia. It's so humid and sticky, but I did it. So not a typical workout, but I do try to get a little bit of movement in every day if I can.
Yeah, we definitely do a mile a day. We try to do 2 miles, then go to the gym, then come back, change into bathing suits, go to the pool and the hot tub. That doesn't happen most mornings, but we always get our walk in at least.
That's good.
Which, wakes you up in the morning. But let's today talk about what we love to talk about and talk about often in our Profit Insider Academy group, whose application window is closing. So if you are interested in going into a small group coaching program that will change your life, change your world, change your profitability of your business, apply for the Profit Insider Academy today because the application window is closing for our group starting on
May 2nd.
May 2nd. Okay. So let's talk about one of the things we do spend quite a bit of time on in the academy, which is marketing in person, marketing on social media, how to do it right. Today, we want to talk about specifically what is working on Instagram. Okay. So why don't you give us number one thing that's working on Instagram?
Number one thing, and you're going to resist it, but you just got to listen up. Video, especially video of you, designer, of your face, of your words. People want to see the person behind the brand. And videos of your work are great. I see so many amazing reveal videos, like behind the scenes of installs and working. Any video content tends to get more engagement, views, excitement than static posts. And so
yes,
video.
Yes. And people really hate video and they think it's because it has to be them all the time. And it can be. And we'll be talking about how that is a benefit in a couple of minutes. But you can create videos from stagnant posts. This morning when we were walking, I took a video of the alligator going across the lake.
Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to Florida. But I'll be able to now use that as the background for some messaging, right? You called it, I think you called it, or Kim called it in her lesson in our Profit Insider group, a B-roll.
B-roll, yeah. It's
right?
Just background filming. It's not you. It's just scenery.
Scanning a showroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Scanning a store, scanning a walk that you're on, nature, flowers, whatever you're into. Now, you recently did a video, correct? On
Probably.
Your Instagram?
Do a lot
you always do video. You always do video on your Instagram. So video is king. And when I teach, when people are afraid to be on video themselves, there's plenty of other ways to put video on your Instagram. And we teach it, all these different methods in the Profit Insider Academy. But you can also just go on YouTube and learn a little bit yourself when it comes to your Instagram game. Yeah. So video is king. There's many ways to do it. What's next?
Stories. Instagram stories. And that can be video, it can be stills, it can be just text, it can be a lot of things. The statistic I heard, and forgive me, I don't remember the exact number, but my understanding is that about 80% of people on Instagram start with stories or only view stories. The feed, the wall is getting less and less trafficked. People are here for the stories. The less polished, the more personal, the more behind the scenes. Stories should be, if they're not already, a huge part of your Instagram strategy. I know Kim from Fresh Impact recommends at least posting on your wall 3 times a week, which is a great baseline.
Yes.
If you can do 1 story a day, every other day, I would focus more on just those quick little stories than making sure your feed. Yeah, basically stories are more important than feed at this point. And
I only stay in stories. When I do hang out on Instagram, which isn't too often lately, but I just go through stories. I find it to be what's interesting about a person in that moment in time.
Yes.
Right. And I went live yesterday and it asked me after, would you like to turn this into a reel? Would you like to post this on your Facebook? Would you like to put it here or put it there? And I thought, wow, that was the gift that keeps on giving. And yeah,
Real
it was
into
video.
story content.
And it has a huge visibility at this point compared to my stagnant posts on my wall. So we talk a lot about the different neighborhoods of Instagram, right? You've got your wall, which is then your grid, your 9 pictures that show on your phone. Then you have your highlights, which we're not going to talk about today. Then you have your stories. Then you have your live, and then you have your reels. Am I forgetting any of the neighborhoods?
I guess just the main feed.
Well, that's the wall. That's the grid.
Yeah. I mean, like the main feed when you log in and see other people's, but you're talking about where you create content.
Where you create content, right? What people are binging on. So they're binging on stories for sure, but everybody has to test their own Instagram. Who are your followers? What do they like to look at? Often it's the same thing you guys like to look at, right? Right. So I think to myself, I live in stories. I should be doing more stories because my ideal client probably lives a lot more in stories than on the wall and the feed.
And stories are a great place to be less perfect and polished. Like the feed, your grid, I do agree. It's like a mini portfolio. It's got to be up here. That's not where to put.
As an interior designer, absolutely. Your wall should be a nice grid of images that you're proud of. But every 9 images, the suggestion is that you have at least one picture of yourself.
Yes. So people always see you on your feed, and that connects with people. And with the stories, that's the place. And people get hung up on this. They don't know what to share. Share a book you're reading. Share a podcast you're listening to. Share a place you just traveled. Did you go to an antique market and find a cool piece that you didn't buy or did buy? I find I'm always so intrigued by seeing those things in other people. And it seems too obvious. Like, why is someone going to care what TV show I'm watching? People care. They want to know what you're into and what you like. Nancy, I was sharing an example with you before we went live is we just bought a camper, which I've always wanted to do because we love to travel. And my ideal clients also love to travel. I shared just a picture, not even a video, a picture on my stories of the outside of it, and then a picture of my kids inside on their little bunk beds. I got so many DMs and comments and questions and messages. It really resonated with people. Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to do this. I love traveling with my kid. Like it was just a quick throwaway, like, cool, we did a thing.
Yeah, but here's what's interesting. Some people, when listening to this, will go, okay, great. So you got a lot of people viewing it and you got a lot of DMs about your camper and about how they want to be campers too, and they're impressed. And people will discount that as, well, that's a great vanity measure. You got a lot of likes and people looked at your stuff, but how does that convert to business? It does eventually, because it takes 15, 18, we've heard up to 20 at this point, time for someone to see you, hear you, be inspired by you, be entertained by you, learn from you before, if they need an interior designer at some point, they think of you, right?
People buy you as a person, you as your own brand before they buy your service. They want you.
Think about it. You're going to be in their house for a month to a year to 18 months, depending on how big the interior design project is. Do they want someone in their house? Let's say they have 3 dogs and you hate dogs. Let's say you're a cat person. And then they're following an interior designer who's a dog person and they're, up in competition with each other. Who do you think that dog person is going to hire? They want people who relate to them, which is why often interior designers' ideal clients, sometimes, I'd say more times than not, match the stage of life they are in.
Yes.
Right? Age of kids, transitions, location. It often is your demographic, whoever you are, is often your ideal client. It's not always true, because I know every interior designer wants to get into luxury markets and they're not always living the luxury market life themselves. And is that possible? Absolutely. But more so than not, I'm going to say 80% of interior designers mostly attract people in their same stage of life.
Yes.
Okay. But then you can add, our last and final big tip is you can attract people by your personal brand as well. And it may be that you do golf, or go to a country club, or go to a concert, or go to a high-end charitable event. that is also relating to your luxury client, even though you may not be living daily a luxury life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're showing that you understand their world. You don't have to be driving, you know, a G-Wagon to understand what a high-end client needs and wants in their home.
Correct. Right. So you can still be exhibiting beauty and lifestyle of a luxury brand, even if you're not living a luxury life, in order to attract your ideal client. But people at this stage are buying personal brands.
Yes.
They want to know what you look like, where you shop, what you do in your free time, whether they can relate to you, whether you can relate to them. All these are triggers as to making them feel more and more comfortable to pick up the phone and call you or to get on your calendar.
Yeah.
So showing your life, right? It's
and
hard
it's a little bit vulnerable. Yes, because you're letting people into a part of you where you're like, oh, what if they think this show's stupid? What if they don't like this new dress I bought that I took an outfit of the day picture in? And you have to be willing to not only attract people, but repel people with your content. A good, strong personal brand is going to attract the right people, and the wrong people, the people that are not your clients, will just quietly excuse themselves out the virtual door.
Yes. And people are so afraid of that. They want to be loved and liked and be able to be hired by everyone. Everyone is not your client. That would be like me saying every interior designer should coach with me and you. No, you should coach with the person that you relate to their style of communication, that you feel they can move the needle for you, right? So with us, there's two different personalities, there's two different histories, there's two different ways of explaining the same concept. And that's what makes our coaching program, well, one of the things that makes our coaching program unique. So people want to know what makes you unique. So on Instagram, what's working is showing who you are. And you know, I gave this lesson in one of the Academy groups the other day. If you're anxious about going on video personally yourself, or even your picture being up on social media, learn to desensitize yourself. Do you remember some of the things that I said?
One of the tips you had was go live on Facebook, but you can set the audience to just yourself. So
only me, I think it's called. Yeah.
Only me. Yes. You choose your audience, public, friends, there's all different things. And only me is an option. Just practice doing it. And the first 10, 20, 100 times, it's going to feel awkward and weird and stupid. And eventually you just stop caring and you show up and you don't have nerves anymore and you do the video and you get out of there. People are not looking for perfect scripted. In fact, I think we've seen so much of that polished perfection. It's really refreshing to see someone just being themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be yourself and desensitize yourself to your accent, whatever things you're looking at on your face, right? Because I used to say, oh my God, I sound terrible. I sound like a New Yorker. Who's going to hire me? My face is crooked. My hair is frizzy. Like I used to really be on top of all the negative things about myself when I used to see myself on video. And now you see the way I go on video, sometimes in a ponytail, no makeup. My hair is wet right now. Like just get out there, because how do people know how you can help them if you don't put yourself out there?
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't.
If you build it, they will come. Just because you have a website and an Instagram page and a Google My Business page does not mean anyone's seeing any of it. You have to actively be putting yourself out there and say, hey, here I am. Here's what I do. Here's how I do it. Here's what I like. Do you like the same things? Do you like me? You don't say it like that, but you're basically saying, I'm here. This is what I've got.
This is what I can do to help you if you need help.
Yeah. Do you like small, fluffy dogs too? I'd love to work with you. Who knows what kind of people you're going to connect with just by sharing about you. And I'm not saying you have to give weird personal information. You don't have to show your kids. You don't have to share your weird mole that's bugging you on your arm. But, you know, things that you're interested in, excited about, passionate about. It's just,
but also be okay to share your struggles once in a while, because the struggles are real and that's what people relate to as well. It shows that you're human and not perfect.
Yes. I know, Nancy, you mentioned before, a lot of what's resonated with your potential clients are your personal stories, going through a divorce, stuff with your kids. I mean, those are things that people have said to you directly. I hired you because of X, Y, or Z reason that they wouldn't have known if you hadn't shared it and made that part of your personal brand.
Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, raising my kids was a real struggle at times because they all had medical issues of different degrees. And again, going through a divorce and now being engaged and moving to Florida, and there's life after everything. And knowing that I made it through the tough times running my own business.
Yeah.
When I tell those stories, especially from stage, so many people line up to talk to me like, me too, me too, me too. My kid had that, my kid this. I relate to you. And they feel safe coming into a coaching program when they actually have real issues in their personal life. They don't feel like they can't tell me and you about it because we have had our struggles and we have shared them.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of what makes our program special to me. I'll just speak for myself, is that I am a life coach and a business coach. I am a body language trainer. So when someone has a life issue, we focus primarily on business, but we're able to help them put it in perspective, find their zen for a moment in time, and make it okay to have the delays that sometimes happen in real life. We're not like, oh my God, you have to do it this way. No, we understand your business and your life ebbs and flows, and we ebb and flow with you. Right? That's reality. And if you can't put someone's personal life as part of their business, and if your business isn't going well, sometimes you have to look at your life. If your life's not going well, sometimes your business is a reflection of that, and vice versa. So we hit it from all different angles, besides teaching you, number one, how to make more money right out of the gate. That is what we focus on right out of the gate. Make more money, and then that drives everything else, drives improving your process, improving your documentation to your clients, getting up to the exemplary service level where now you're getting repeat clients, referrals, you understand how to network, how to do your social media, marketing, sales, and what to say to people. One girl in the group, the Interior Design Business Forum, not a client, said, I'm going to a lot of networking events, and I just don't know, I don't feel comfortable always saying, what do you do for a living? I'm an interior designer. What we teach, it kills the conversation, right? And then where does the conversation go? Our business in words, your business in words exercise, which is free with my free resources, solves that problem and has solved it for probably 1,000 interior designers. And I'm like, why aren't the other 9,000 getting this exercise? It's free. And it will make you feel so much more comfortable in networking events, socializing, and bringing up what you do without being salesy. And it's one of the exercises we go over in the Profit Insider Academy, and we help people actually create their own business in words to where they're comfortable using it in conversation. So, listen, our academy covers everything you need to run a profitable business. So I could sit here and list everything, but I think the biggest thing is the unlimited access to you and I. Do people even get the fact?
No. I mean, we are available. Now, we're not going to answer in the middle of the night, but I love, like, Voxer us whenever. If you're up in the middle of the night and you're freaking out about something, send us a message and we'll get back to you the next morning. You don't have to wait until our next group call to get your questions answered. And you say it over and over in our groups, and it's so true. The designers that use the walkie-talkie, the Voxer app, have the most success in the program. They're not waiting. They're not spinning. They're not stuck. They're saying, hey, I'm having this challenge. I need help with pricing. I have a difficult client. What do I do? We're able to go back and forth, and then they can keep going. And there's a reason the Profit Insiders Academy is a year-long program. I know that some people have suggested maybe it should only be a few months. Maybe we should change the format. If you commit to this year, I'm telling you, 12 months from now, you and your business, completely different in the best way possible.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes one-on-one with me for me to get to know them. It takes a couple of group sessions for you to get to know them better. But right from day one, you're able to ask us questions about your business, and we can ask you questions back to make sure we're giving you the right type of advice. But a 1 month worth of support is not enough. This is a year. This is a year's worth of support. So sometimes people feel like, well, I got the one big job I was looking for, so I'm good now. So I do have an example of someone who got back on my calendar after letting their great habits that they learned in our academy, they let them go, right? So they're back on the calendar because you have to keep it going, which we don't want someone coming in or having one session with me, leaving with a list of to-dos, and then falling back into their normal habits of not showing up for their own business when the business needs them. We're here to encourage, hold accountable, here to answer your questions, teach you what you don't know, teach you how to do what you didn't know, right? I mean, there's so many things. There's so many aspects of this. I think the best part is that you're never alone.
Yeah.
Right? You have your
the groups that form in these academy groups. I mean, they stay connected. We've got several groups that they form their own Voxer channel, their walkie-talkie channel, and they still like their program has ended, and they still connect with each other, support each other. Like it's so magical when you find your people, because this can be a very lonely and challenging industry, and to have a group of people that has walked through the same transformation and challenges as you can offer advice and input, a new perspective. I mean, it just makes my little heart happy to see all these.
Oh my God. When I see, so at High Point, we didn't go to High Point this time, but a lot of our Profit Insider Academy, past, present, went and met up and were posting all over, like, great to meet my other Profit Insiders live and in person. It's heartwarming. Like, to see people never alone again once they do this one program. They're never alone again in their industry, right? I'm actually looking for, so I did a live yesterday on Instagram about Profit Insiders and how people feel that scarcity mindset, right? And how the people who break through their scarcity mindset and don't say, you know what, I'm worried about the economy, but I'm not going to stop spending. I'm not going to be one of those people that make the economy worse. I'm actually going to take this time, make sure I spend the money on myself, on my learning, and on my business. So when this fear of what's going on in the world and politically is through, I'm not going to be the one who waited to learn how to run a business. I'm going to be the one who worked my way through it and came out the other side ahead of everybody else who's afraid to spend on themselves, afraid to grow their business, afraid to ask anyone if they need their services. And so I did that live. I ended up posting it on Facebook as well. And Beata, one of our Profit Insiders, did you see her comments?
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, I'll read it to you. Being a part of the Profit Insider group has truly transformed my journey as an interior designer. As I continue in the program, because she's currently in one of our groups, the clarity it's bringing into my business is remarkable. It's like having a guiding light through the overwhelming maze of entrepreneurship. I'm learning to organize my business with newfound confidence. To all my fellow designers, I wholeheartedly recommend this program for an empowering boost in your journey.
Oh,
like, amazing, right? We didn't ask for her to do that. This is one of our current Profit Insider Academies. When she saw my live on Instagram yesterday, which I then posted on Facebook, it was like, that's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
100%. Because my interior designers, your interior designers who are in our Profit Insider program or my one-on-ones are soaring.
Yes.
And I just want everyone to be able to soar, like, truly, including myself, you, and everyone we bring up the journey with us. So if you are struggling in your business, struggling what to do on Instagram, what to do on Facebook, what to say to a client, how to get more clients, how to fill your pipeline, what about your website, your processes, your contracts, how you actually run your jobs. If you're feeling unsure, alone, and not like you're breaking through the ceiling that you've been in for a while, fill out an application. Today and tomorrow, I think, are the last days we're accepting applications. Fill it out, get on my calendar for 15 minutes, and I'll let you know if I think you're a good candidate for the Academy. If you're not, I will tell you, right? I'm very clear. We're not looking for people who aren't ready to do a little work and focus on themselves, but we help you stay focused on yourself and on your business, because life is always pulling us in so many different directions.
It is. And it's a big commitment, and it is 100% worth it.
Oh my God. 2 months in, how many people say I just made all the money for the 1-year program just within the first 2 or 3 months back? Because we work on pricing, pipeline first.
Yes.
Period. Okay. And everything else happens simultaneously, but in a most manageable way that we can do it for you. So, all right. Any final words, Lesley, or did we cover everything?
Just going to recap So what's working on Instagram? First of all, using it, but
Yes.
videos, stories, and personal brands sharing about you. That is what's resonating with clients. That is what is working to reach your potential clients and to reach your audience.
Exactly. So, all right, everyone, go have a great Thursday. Hopefully we'll see your application for the Profit Insider Academy come in. If you're struggling growing your business, it's time to get in. It starts May 2nd.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See you next time. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.